This video is all about uprooting an old identity. And maybe sometimes you don't even think that you're uprooting an old identity. Maybe sometimes you just think that you're stuck and you're looking past, like in your prime, and comparing an old version of yourself because you're unhappy with the version of yourself here. Or you feel like you're not where you need to be. You feel like all of this mumbo jumbo that's going on in your head. Here's the truth. We're always in transition. If you are a living human being, you have life. Life is begetting life, right? Life is happening always, in, around you, all the time. You are in motion. We are on a moving rock. So if everything's in motion, that means we're always in transition. Let's just put that, okay? If you're in the process of transition and you're stepping into a newer version of yourself, here are some tips to alleviate the friction. 1, if your ego is screaming loud, your doubts are always challenging you with your every move, every single thing you do, there's this like voice in your head telling you it's not enough, you should do better, let's figure this out, blah, 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 blah. But in a very condescending tone, in a not loving tone, that's when you know you're in the right place, even if it feels wrong. Let me say this, because the truth is, even when it feels wrong, we have to learn to see that it is in our old ways, a past version trying to use what used to work before. But the naked truth is that every new moment is literally brand new. You cannot keep taking your past with you. You cannot keep comparing your past with you. The old version of yourself, the younger version of yourself, is just so certain with how things used to work, and then when you try it now and it doesn't work, you get in this vicious cycle of figuring it out. You see this past version of you, it's trying so hard to keep itself alive because it thinks that you're going to try to kill it. It gets so loud because it doesn't want to die. It wants to be alive. And here's the thing. It's not really about demonizing an old part of yourself that is learning, making mistakes, and doing all of that. What happens when we continue to oppress our emotions, our feelings, our experiences, and just like press them down to like sweep it under the rug because we're afraid of shame? All of that, that's not necessary. Because what truly needs to happen and what people are not taught, or we are not taught, is that we really are just uprooting. Do you know what uprooting means? We're relocating the past version of ourselves in the past, integrating it into our psyche as wisdom, uprooting our old identities, the past versions of ourselves, uprooting them out from the past, because it's like operating in the present, right? Sometimes you get triggered. Sometimes you're like trying on things that work well in the past, but they're not working now. And you're like, something's wrong with me. Something's wrong with the world. You shift blame outside, externally. But really what's going on is that you are not really fully allowing yourself to integrate this version. And I like to think of this as one of my mentors said this to me, and it stuck really deeply. We stand on the shoulders of our past selves. We can only become giants because of all the lessons our past selves has made, and they're holding us up so that we can see the vision and that we can continue on the journey of creating the beautiful world that's our heart is here to create. The past version of ourselves is trying to stay, thinking that you're trying to kill it. That's why it's loud, but you are the one with the awareness that says, no, I'm actually just uprooting you. I'm integrating you. I'm uprooting you, relocating you to the land of integration. Okay? So that you could be a part of my every fiber in my being, rather than just a part that I shame and never talk about, never show. You can still shine here with me in the land of integration. That's one tip to alleviate the friction. That's one reframe. When you're in transition as well, it is very important that you don't do this alone. It is very important that you share it with others so that they have the opportunity to impart wisdom Now, I'm not saying to go broadcast every single thing that you're up to. I'm saying use your discernment. You want to see and allow and open up space for people who has something of value. Show up, engage in conversations. You had like a ping in your heart to go talk to this person and ask them about their advice or their wisdom on something. That is that. You don't have to share the whole entire thing. You can ask them for their wisdom, and they would love the opportunity to share it with you, to grant you their gift. Because once you allow yourself to keep your heart open, to be nurtured through this process, through this change, you won't feel isolated. You won't feel like you're doing this alone. None of us are supposed to feel like we're doing this alone. And of course, the world is in a state of isolation at the same time, where I feel like we're moving out of that as well. You just have to be aware enough to see that being glued to your phones don't necessarily mean anything. So if you're watching this and you want to take an inventory, like, what am I actually doing in real life? Am I making real connections? Or am I ruminating in my room trying to figure out myself by looking up YouTube videos about how I'm feeling and getting connection that way? I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with commenting and like creating content, like exactly what I'm doing now, but I'm also saying talk to the people in your real life, your family, the people that matter to you, the people that you see on a regular basis. Allow the people in your life to be a part of your transition. And we can talk in another video about when you are moving tribes, when you are outgrowing a friend group and stepping into the unknown and finding a new friend group. So if you want me to talk about that in the next video, please leave a comment down below and then I can do that for you. That's the second tip. Lastly, we can get a little weird about the timeline and the expectations on the duration of how long this process of change is going to take. We can really try our best to plan it out like minute by minute, but here's the thing, when you do that, you take the universe out of it. You take the magic out of it. And I don't blame you. We're in the world where dopamine baselines are pretty scary. Let me say. We're also in a world where a lot of people are understanding what nervous system regulation is. And it's not only nervous system regulation, it's co-regulation. There's like, I can go on and on about that. But with experience, the less attached you are to a timeline, the faster it will come to you. If you spend so much time deliberately planning each and every second and minute of how you are changing and how things are supposed to be going this way, that way or the other, that is you actually showing up, fighting and creating that resistance for change. Because change is actually very magical if you just allow it to happen. But if you're so into controlling and fighting for how hard it is going to be or the struggle that you're going to face, that's the belief that's giving you the problem. That's the belief that is delaying your change. If you're in this belief system, this thought pattern, this mindset, this frame of it has to be hard. I have to struggle for this. There's the friction. That's all you. That's all you, baby boo. Just trust that you have the desire. You just gotta let it happen. I'm not saying you just have the desire and do nothing about it. I'm saying you allow it to happen, meaning allowing yourself to get inspired, allowing yourself to relax into that change is inevitable, that this new identity is already here, and you have every intention to, you have every right to enjoy the process. We were just taught that it has to be hard. And sometimes it will be challenging. Some people say that's why it's worth it. But it's also worth it if you can see the beauty in it. So why not just choose seeing the beauty in it? Why not choose the first tip, to give yourself grace when your ego gets loud, the older versions of yourselves that's really fighting to stay, not really realizing that they can already stay. You're just relocating them into your heart, integrating them by sharing your experiences with others, getting into deeper conversations with people. Yeah. And then 3, letting go of the timeline, meaning letting go of how long it's going to take you, the attachment of how fast or how slow this is going to go. We're always in a state of instant gratification. Delayed gratification is much more subtle and more sustainable. If you notice, instant gratification, things come in fast as they go. Or wouldn't you want the change that you are embarking on be sustainable, be long lasting? So it will take a while. And don't get so attached to how it's going to go. Keep yourself open, let it happen. I hope that these tips and reframes have showed you that you're the only one in your way. And because you're the only one in your way, you can also step out of the way with these tips and reframes. Even if blaming and complaining is a lot easier to do, I'm here to remind you that you're bigger than that. We're not doing that anymore. That's why you're on this channel. That's why you're led to this video, because let's just face it, we're leaders. We are. It's time for us to step into it, own it, and just really see how freaking powerful we are. A little short story that happened yesterday during my healing treatment with my healer. There was this moment, we were doing a cord cutting. And, if you've done a cord cutting meditation experience before, it's where you put somebody's, not only one person, it could be like a group of people, it could be whatever that is holding a lot of space and power, that's having you feel like they're blocking you from it because you keep having this hatred to them. Not hatred, you know what I mean? Like this anger and resentment, blah, 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 like all of this stuff. Like they did this to me, blah, 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 right? You've done the healing work for that, but at the same time, this is like an energetic practice. An interesting thing that happened that I didn't see coming, that I wanted to share as a leader, is there's a part where you're moving all of their energy out of your field, you're seeing your energy moving out of their field, and you return their energy back and you get your energy back. There's a slight moment where my energy is coming back, and there's a part of me that's like, no, I'm afraid, I'm too terrified, I'm scared. I'm like, say more. I'm scared because it's a lot. I gave these people so much, and I'm afraid I can't hold everything I gave them. I can't, because that would just sound crazy that I could actually have the capability of holding all the love that I give. And the reason why I'm sharing this is I'm also in my way too. And I know it is crazy. It feels crazy sometimes when you're always working on something. But that just means you're always in motion, that there's nothing wrong with you inherently. Because that's the truth. You're here. That's enough. And the other thing I wanted to say is that integrity is a mountain with no top, right? This idea that somebody with integrity always chases integrity. It's not really chasing. It's just like something you work on until your last breath, because you always have to restore integrity, right? There's integrity, restoring integrity. That's like the motion. I like to think of healing as the same thing. People go, I'm in my healing era. I'm like, girl, we be healing until we're dead. There's always going to be something. This is just a process of expanding our capacity as human beings, as leaders, right? There's always something for us to get and something for us to understand about ourselves. And so integrity and healing, both a mountain with no top. There's no real destination. And you can enjoy the freaking view. You can enjoy yourself beyond what anyone else is saying or thinking, because this is your experience. So hopefully this video helped you out. My little stories helped you out as well, and not having you feel alone. and having you know that we're always in transition, we're always healing, we're always restoring integrity. That's just what leaders do, because you know how valuable you are. So stop going around acting like you're not. I say that with so much love. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.